Hello everyone. So today was a good day for trading, and show my P&L for today. So today made 1,498 on a total of multiples ticker here. Majority of them came from SNDL, KXIN, and ZYNE, and I can go over those trade right now in a bit. But if you like my content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like button, and I can make more of these videos in the future. And I would like to go over my two setups that I trade. So let's see. So the setups are here on the screens. I usually just take two setups. Mostly it's the long flag, and it's pretty much the only long play I take, and there's variation of it, like the cup and handle type flags, and also on the short side it's the inverted cup and handle. So let's see. So here, I guess examples of that from my trading history of all the setups. You can pause the video in the future if you want to take a closer look. But let's get to recapping on what we did today. So the first one I'll go over is SNDL. So you can see here there is multiple setups here. There was probably one after hours for the squeeze up 368. But the first one was this morning here. So you can see if I draw the flag line. So I actually took one here. So this flag here was a little extended. So you can see it go up. It created a higher low here. So I put my risk level here at around, what's this, 328 area, and my buy was at 320 or 234s, right? So you can see this little wick here. It's a fake out, so I end up just taking it off for a small loss there at 130 break. So that was a small loss of like $40 or so, and then I redrew the flag line, so a little wider here, and now you can see the pattern here playing out. So now I have this as my risk level at around 226 or so, 227s, and then I bought this break here, which was around to the 232 mark. So you can see my average here, 3,000 shares at 232, and then I sold along the way here. So I scaled down. So when this created a low here, and then it kind of broke down here, so that's where I kind of scaled a little bit off, and then I held the last 500 shares and sold onto this push up here, and potentially just stop around that 90 MA break. And it actually kind of went lower throughout that time, but I'm all out there. So I realized I think I made up for the $45 loss here, and then I realized an extra 176 up here. So that was the first part of the trade, and then in the afternoon, there was a flag here. So you can see a flag starting to form here. It tested the hourly trend here, which is the orange line, and then it was trending above VWAP the whole time, and then you can see it created a resistance here. It became support at this level, And then once it broke this flag line, that's where I went long, which was around 233s right here at this, and then I sold along the way. So I took it off when it broke the 9 EMA here. So when it pulled back here, I put my stop around this this prior low. So it didn't stop me out, so I kept holding my position, and then I eventually stopped out when it wicked me out here. If you wanted to trail a little longer and let the trade work, you could trend the 5-minute EMA, which is this line. So this is how my chart work is color coded. So the teal is 1 minute, red is 5 minute, gray is 15 minute. So these are the respective 9 EMA, and I just have it in one chart. So these are the EMAs for the 9 EMA for each. So that was this trade, and I realized another $200 or so. So I was up like 390 on this trade plus this trade. And then the next trade was high of daybreak. So the high of day was 250. I can draw this here. So high of day was 250, and what happened was it was trailing. It was creating this support level. So it was creating this support level around 240s or so, 230s. So you can see it had a move up, held support here, this area, and then you can see it held another lower support here. So that's where you can start buying here. So I bought here at the 250 break. So I bought to like 249s right there in this candle. And then my stop was pretty much below this. So that is around 245. So I'm risking 5 cents here. So this is a 5 cents risk. And I made, you know, here's another 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents. So it's almost, you know, 6-to-1 risk ratio. So it's a pretty good ratio to risk there. So depending on what you want to size, you can size in accordingly, and just make sure to respect your stop. So that was my third trade, and that brought me up like 700 on SNDL. And then so the other trade was a short on SNDL. Let's see. So here I shorted after it made it tried to break high of day here at 3. So you can see this little wick. So it was showing weakness, and it couldn't get above the 3 level. So I had a trend line drawn right here. Zoom in, so you can see the trend line was drawn here, and then you can see it's creating a little cup and handle, right? And also create a little cup and handle here. So this is where I entered my short position. So it's 288 on this break here, and pretty much I just took profit along the way here, and it went a little further than I expected, because I was expecting it to just take it off as on the 15-minute 9 EMA trend. So my profit target was around this area, but it ended up testing the 30-minute 9 EMA, which was a little more than I thought it would go. But yeah, it ended up I ended up taking it off there, and it was because a $200 win on that. So that brought me up a total of 782 on SNDL alone. And then after hours for SNDLs, it looks like it had another breakout. So you draw a flag here. So potentially you could have played this flag. The only thing is if it went another higher low here, he could probably bought that 295 break or whatever here, and you could potentially risk this level for the after hour break. So that's SNDL. I'll move on to KXIN. So KXIN was also an after-hour play. So it kind of had a push up towards the last hour of the day. So you can see this high volume, and then it was creating this pattern. And you can see this little cup and handle forming. So here's a little cup and then a little handle, and I bought this flag line break. So I bought there around 455, added a little more at 462, and pretty much it just squeezed up, and I sold majority of my positions around 490s. I sold along the way, and my last sale was 513s, but it ended up going a little higher. It retested the 90 MA 1 minute, it went higher, then retested the 5, and then it went higher. Now it's bouncing off the 15. So that was KXIN, and that was for a $367 win. So ZYNE, let's see, ZYNE here was a short play. Zoom in. So I had a little kind of similar pattern to SNDL earlier. So you got a little cup and then a little handle here, and then I was looking for a smaller cup and handle here, and then I shorted that break there around 688, and then I just took profit. I think my target was the hourly, but it didn't end up going there. But my first target was the 15-minute, and I guess it bounced off the 30-minute EMA. And it eventually, when I see it kind of holding this as support, I took it off here, and it's a good thing I took it off, because yeah, it kind of reclaimed and took shorts for a ride, right? So this also set it up for a good long, but I didn't take. So you can see here, it was this pattern, right? And then support. So here's your support resistance, and then there's a flag line. So potentially this was a good spot to buy here at 720s or so, risking 710s. So that's a 10-cent risk, and you could potentially make 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, almost like a 4-to-1 on this initial push. And then if you kept holding, trailing the 5-minute EMA, you could have made more. So that was a good setup there, but it wasn't on my radar. On ZYNE there, I took a short on that. The short, I made a total of 215. So ITRM was also an after-hour play. So you can see it tested the hourly VWAP here, hourly, and then it had this cup and handle, right? And I bought this at the 270s, and then I just kind of sold when when I was watching level 2, it looked kind of weak, but I should have given it more time, but it ended up going like pretty much to 290s, which was would have been a pretty good trade. Another thing I try to do is use Fibonacci's retracement to find my targets. So potentially, let's see if this level works here. So potentially this would be the line, and then you can draw it from here, and yeah, you would hit your target at 290s. So this would have been used, and this would have been used as a Fibonacci level as a target. So it's holding now. So this was just a small win here. Took a quick profit of $80 there on BPTH. So BPTH was a bit volatile. I had a flag break here. So BPTH, I had a quick flag break here. So I bought this flag break. I end up pulling a wick, like a topping tail candle. So I didn't like that, so I end up just selling the rest here. So it ended up just fading back down. And the other thing, it was extended on the hourly, and it was also during lunchtime. So that's why I kind of stopped out a little earlier. On the West Coast, so 9 o'clock is around 12 o'clock Eastern, so it's lunchtime for most folks. OGI, so OGI was also an after hour play. I had this long cup and handle from opening, and it was kind of holding this support level, so resistance support level. Retested the 90 EMA on the hourly, and then so what happens is after hour I kind of sold off. So I kind of averaged, I had like a 94 average, and then I sold it around this push down, this pullback, and it started ripping. So I think what I wanted to see would be more comfortable, and I would have had more conviction to size up, was a little higher low here, but it didn't give me that. So I went a little smaller size, just 300 shares here, and just took a little win there and made up for the loss here, and a little bit for like a $25 win. Next trade, NSPR. So NSPR, this one I was a little impatient, but there was a flag break here, and the reason for this level was this resistance here at 129. So I took that trade, entered here, and then I just sold for like a tiny loss because I saw it kind of dipping back down here to this level. But it ended up kind of pushing like 10 cents, 8 cents. Could have been a good trade if I held on, but pretty much I took it off for a small loss, like a $7 loss there. So yeah, so that was my day recap, up a total of 1498. Then I also wanted to share, kind of my calendar here, my weekly calendar that I track every day. So I started in September with 1900 profit, and then November 3000, and I try to track every day profit. On January I only have one red day. This month I have one red day, but I also have like one big day, which was today. And also I log every trade on my Twitter, so if you haven't done so, feel free to subscribe. And here you can see I post pretty much on my P&L and my entries and exits for the big trades that I've taken. So feel free to follow me at Snipe Trading. So I think that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comment, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you. Bye.